Hi guys, it's Elisa here from Talking Snacks, and today I'm with Connor from Snackwize in the Snackwize office. Thank you so much for catching up with me on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
It's gloomy. We're in Brisbane. It's gloomy. It's still hot out there, but it's definitely overcast, so it's not such a bad day to be stuck in the office with me.
It's nice and cool in here.
I've come to visit you today to talk about your business, Snackwize. Obviously, we've kind of been. How long have we been chatting for? Well, and working together.
Yeah, probably 3 years now.
3 years?
Yeah.
It's been.
It's been 3 years. So I think 2016. It probably would have been. I think it was naturally good. You guys down there, or some point throughout the year. Yeah.
I remember catching up with you before you had even launched.
That's right. Yeah, no, it would have been naturally good expo. I think was it May 2016 maybe. Yeah. Well, sort of the concept was sort of in my head, and I was going and researching the market to see what sort of snack brands were around, and I think I ran into you guys then and had a chat, and so there's a website coming soon, and 3 years later it's sort of a bit more established since that sort of chat. So
no, it's fantastic. So we've been working together for a little while, and then Connor's got some awesome stuff going on with Snackwize at the moment, and I thought it'd be a perfect time to chat about what's going on in the snacking industry, especially this office snacking space. And so I'm going to hand over to you now, and please tell me, we just touched on it slightly, but please tell me how you got started.
Yeah. So I guess I started Snackwize 3 years ago. So previously to starting it, my job was I was a global marketing manager for the health and wellbeing brand within a major travel company in Australia. Yep. So my sort of role saw me, I guess, creating things in conjunction with other people on the team, like 12-week challenges for staff, healthy eating challenges, mindfulness challenges, anything to, I guess, foster health, a culture of health and wellbeing in the organisation. So, doing that for about 4 years, I sort of noticed there's one sort of theme in the workplace that you can have all the great exercise equipment and, gym plans and stuff like that. But if you're not really getting the nutrition right or giving, I guess, employees access to health and nutrition, it sort of doesn't really work the greatest. You need to have nutrition, exercise working hand in hand. And I sort of noticed that, like, I was going around with my interstate, seeing all the offices and even internationally, that in the workplace there's a lot of people who weren't really snacking healthy. They had like your fruit box drops in the office, but next to it was a vending machine full of, sugar-ridden crap and just salty snacks and just stuff that wasn't really healthy for you. And I saw them, they'd go and snack on that throughout the day. And I thought, well, if these staff or employees had access to healthy snacks, would they want to do it? And I said, no one's really doing this in the market at the moment. I said, health vending machines are few and far between. You still get to a vending machine, you sort of see, okay, there may be a healthy snack here, but I'm going to be a bit more risk averse because I'm about to put in $4 of my own money. It could be a crap snack, or it doesn't taste nice. So I say, wouldn't it be great if someone could come up with, like, I guess, a snack box which is curated for the staff? All the snacks are free from artificial colours, flavours and preservatives. It rocks up on a subscription, so the company pays for it for their staff. It comes on the delivery schedule every single month. They don't have to search online for it anymore. They don't have to worry about prices, what's gluten-free, dairy-free, paleo. It's all done for them.
Yep.
Thought, okay, I'll give it a crack, see what happens. Didn't think it'd go too well, just the fact that, people were just so stuck in their ways of vending machines. Got a box together, had a sticker made up. This is how scrappy the approach was. The sticker actually had my personal mobile number on it.
Oh, nice.
So it had Snackwize in my personal...
That's the way to do it. That's the only way to start.
Yeah, it was like I got a box. It was actually a box like that. It had a sticker on it. And I actually went to a Whole Foods store in Newmarket, it's a suburb here in Brisbane, and I just said, I didn't have any snack supply relationships. I didn't have anything like that. I just went and bought, like, I think it was like 30 snacks from the Whole Foods store. And I said, I'll just put them in here. Put it in a box, and one of my mates previously had taken, a trial with their workplace. Said, hey mate, the guy's like, it's pretty interesting, this concept. Do you want to do something with it? I said, oh shit, I don't have any like snacks, but I'll go find it. Got all the snacks, put it in a box, put the sticker on it, put it into the workplace. That was my first trial. So I didn't make any money off it at all. Didn't even know how to price the product. I just said, just give us
Did you start off with being for free in the office? So could anybody in the office walk up and grab the snack for free, or were they paying
So it's always been paid for by the company, and it's up to the company then if they wish to choose, to charge their staff, a gold coin or two, depending to recoup at the cost of the box, or it goes to Friday drinks or, charity of their choice. But I was always based on the model that it's a subscription, so wherefore we get paid up front for the box, and then it's up to the workplace then should they wish to charge their staff.
So you're really, I guess, putting emphasis on the workplace to invest in the health and wellness of their employees, like you've said, and an extension of any other kind of, whether it be a physical or mindful health and wellness program that an office, that a workplace is running. This is just an extension of that kind of program.
Totally. Yeah, it's all about, I guess providing, access to those healthy food tips that workplaces are trying to provide in with exercise and nutrition. It's actually saying, here's a convenient option for you.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I mean, if you want to eat healthy, I'm the belief anyway, that most people do want to eat healthy.
Yeah.
They really do. It's just they don't really have, I guess, the convenience of it's what makes people not really eat healthy.
Yeah.
We've seen it now with the great the food delivery in Australia now. Some awesome brands doing that straight to the home or workplace. People increasingly getting busier lifestyles and work demands, so they want access to healthy food that they don't have to spend a lot of time searching for.
Yeah.
So that's what we base the company on, is convenience and health, and support those companies' health and wellbeing goals. So that's how we sort of started it. Went in the box. They said, hey, this is a great concept. The feedback was that the snacks is too small, like there's not enough snacks in a box. Go back and rejig it, and we'll see what happens. So that was really good. That's literally how I started, really going off the whole startup ethos of an MVP, a minimal viable product, where you sort of put something together. It's not perfect, it's not shit, but it's not perfect. You ship it, you get the feedback, and you iterate, and that's what I did with Snackwize. And then we went from there, went back, did some homework, got the branding up better, actually got snack suppliers on board rather than going and buying things at retail and just flogging it off. Which that's what you do to start off with, and then 3 years later, here we are. We're all over across. We're servicing every capital city in Australia. We also service internationally in New Zealand as well.
Fantastic.
So it's been a long, I guess. So we've come a long way since that initial box
Can I ask a question? So you started off with one box.
Yeah.
How many boxes are you at now in between Australia and New Zealand?
Yeah, so we've got 100 companies on board now.
Awesome.
So that's recurring monthly with us. So that's sort of from one box, just to do it in Brisbane, where we're based, now to all over Australia and New Zealand.
Can I ask, is there any businesses that come on board? Is there any trends? So is it the financial sector? What kind of businesses are coming on board supporting their workplace like this? Yeah,
it's pretty varied customer base we have. The tech companies always see the value straight away.
Yeah, right.
I guess really we work with real great industry leaders who are sort of forward thinking and bringing these sort of snack initiatives on place. But I say a lot of tech. We've got a few tax companies. You've got a bit of construction as well. They love it. The head office is in construction. Yeah. But definitely the tech side of things as well. And then you'll get some different sort of companies along the way that pop up which you don't even know. But I'd definitely say the tech guys, the construction guys, and then a little bit of the tax guys there too.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we've covered off why. I guess who's putting this kind of snacking service into offices.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about why snacking is important? Like, should we even be doing it?
Yeah, definitely. So snacking is really important. It's probably been shown, like the food category, it's sort of been shown to influence your eating habits more than any other food category. So that's pretty big. Snacking can sometimes get a bad rap, but that's because people aren't snacking healthy or using it, I guess, properly with their sort of health and wellness goals. So an example of that would be, most people, I'll start again from that. I actually sort of might go from the start.
Yeah, okay, no worries.
So I talk about why snacking was important. So snacking is, I guess, really important because it's one category that's been shown to influence your eating habits more than any other food category. So, breakfast is a food category, lunch is a food category, snacking is a food category, and dinner is a food category. So, if you're snacking healthy, you're less likely to overgorge at those other meal times as well. Meal times have really shifted in the last, 20 years, where it used to go from, 3 full-time meals. Nowadays, I guess, due to, increasingly busy lifestyles, we're sort of, snacking on the go and running on the go. And actually 46% of Australians are actually snacking now in favour of lunch, which is a huge shift.
See, I actually find this really interesting because I'm not surprised at that because depending on what I'm doing in the day, sometimes a snack feels better. So I'll combine something. We're going to look at the snacks in the box soon, but whether it's a little piece of protein with nuts or something and a piece of fruit, and it makes you feel like you're lighter. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
always sit down to a big meal for lunch. And if you're busy on the go and running from meetings to meetings, you actually sometimes have no choice but to eat something on the go. So I'm not surprised by 46%.
46%
Would
of
rather-
Australians are now snacking in favour of lunch.
Yeah, that's
And this is
crazy.
obviously, like I mentioned before, due to our increasingly busy lifestyles and our work demands. We're working longer hours. We're more connected than ever. We're on the go. We want information and work done faster and quicker, which means got less time really to eat. It shouldn't be that way. You should
Yeah.
always do. I'm a big believer. Always take your hour lunch break, switch off from your job, go out for a walk, get some sun wherever you can. Really recharge and go. But there are days, of course, when you're
Yeah,
running
of
from meeting
course.
to meeting. I need to grab something, and if you grab something that's full of processed sugar and just preservative crap, you're not really fueling your body for the day's
Yeah.
activities ahead, and you're not really going to feel that great, full and satiated. So with healthy snacking, it's so important with a stat like that. So I guess to have them readily available to people. So
do you think suppliers or the producers of these snacks are doing a better job, hence consumers get to snack better, or do you think consumers are the ones that are demanding better snack? That's a bit of a tricky question.
It is a bit of a tricky question. I think it's probably a bit of both. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely consumers now are definitely cottoning on to, I guess, the impact of eating unhealthy. The more and more research that
Yeah.
comes out today that shows that a lot of preventable diseases in our lifetime are done from poor nutritional habits and poor food choices.
Yeah.
So I think as that research continues to come out, consumers like, well, hey, if I really want to reduce my risk of getting a terminal illness, not saying you're going to be guaranteed to get one or not, but if I can reduce my risk from eating healthy,
Yeah.
I want to find healthy options to meet my sort of health goals and just be healthy in general. So I think it's probably a bit of both to answer that question, if that does.
Have you ever? This is another sideline question, but
Yeah.
have you ever looked at bringing a nutritionist or a dietitian into the team to kind of educate as well? Because a big part of healthy eating in general, regardless of whether it's snack or at mealtime, is education, right? So
Yeah.
I think from what I've learned in my own experience in life, I was really lucky to grow up on a really, we ate healthy food just because we ate that way. And what I've noticed is that a lot of people who are learning and really motivated to learn about snacking healthily or eating healthily in their adult life is because they haven't grown up eating a lot of, like, they're
Totally.
learning about
Totally.
nutrition, etc. So do you find that there's a space for that to bring like a professional in that field into the team, or as I guess as an ambassador to talk about how to eat healthy?
Definitely. So we run our curation past a wellness expert as well, who's been 20 years in the health wellbeing game, across a variety of different industries, exercise and healthy eating as a whole. They're not employed full time by the business.
So you run all the snacks.
Yeah. So we run that
awesome.
past. We probably would bring someone eventually full time, but they're sort of part-time contracted out in that sort of regard.
Yeah, right.
So I guess our brand promise is that what we do with our brand is that all the snacks have to be free from artificial colours, flavours and preservatives. So they all have different nutritional content, but there's no added sugars in any of the snacks that we retail. So, I'm not sure who's watching and listening to this, but, we all know the difference, or may not know the difference, but an added sugar and a natural sugar. So, the natural sugar is a byproduct from things like fruit, bananas, apples, and then an added sugar is something that's manufactured out of the product, which, we know doesn't go well in the body. So, every snack that we have is free from that. Which is something that we heavily believe in. So we get to work with great brands who are producing and meeting those needs. So I think what we try to do with our education as well, we're sort of leaning more towards through our Instagram. We do a lot of blogging on our website.
Yeah, I've known, that's fantastic.
About the different types of dietary, what each dietary sort of preferences. People are vegan, paleo, dairy free. So we do a lot of content education around that. And then also too, we're looking to more streamline it this year through our Instagram of sort of fun facts and people and educate around that.
Of course.
But there's definitely always more opportunity to keep educating people, because I think you are right. I think again, most people really do want to eat healthy. They just don't know how, or and it's not really their fault. I mean,
no, it's not.
You just look at the amount of claims that are out there in the workplace these days, and the government, where all the world promotes a certain way of eating, but it's not. If you look back and peel it back, it's like, is that really the most healthiest option? Is that still dated to today's day and age? So there's so many conflicting messages. People are just grabbing what's marketed at them rather than really taking the time to sort of, read the education around what is. So where possible, we try to, assist with that as well.
Yeah, and that's when the responsibility is back on the producer themselves, because you need to trust that they're going to be doing the right thing for their consumer.
Totally.
Awesome. barriers to entry. What has been the biggest difficulty in getting, 100 ongoing
Yeah.
customers on board, or
Yeah.
getting these boxes into office spaces?
Yeah. It's probably where the Australian market is, corporate market anyway,
Yep.
if we're talking about business to business here. Australia, unfortunately, is probably about 10 years behind the USA,
Yep.
Canada and UK when it comes to having really healthy initiatives in the workplace. We have sort of, I guess, the yoga classes, the gym discounts, and a fruit box and some mindfulness challenges. They're all great things.
Yeah.
And I've, been very fortunate with the companies who provide that. I think it's fantastic. But when you look at the likes of other companies overseas, in terms of a whole nutritional point of view, they're far more advanced. I mean, in Australia, you still get companies who are still much fixated on the whole fruit box drops enough. I mean, fruit is great in the workplace, but it was
Yeah.
done 16 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the work generation has changed in the last 16 years. The education on and having access to healthy food has increased since then.
Of course.
And like I said before, consumers, especially Australians, are snack on average, 46% of them are snacking in favour of lunch. But millennials is another generation now, which is sort of my generation, your generation. We're going to be making up 3/4 of the Australian workforce, by the year 2025.
Wow.
Another stat with that is that millennials snack on average 3 to 4 times a day.
Wow.
So we've got some, a bit of stats there for everyone. But that's the shifting change from, 16 years ago in the workplace, and now we're going to have more millennials in the workplace who actually want to snack more. And
so sorry to interrupt here, but this is really important.
Yeah.
If you don't actually get more snack boxes into offices, where are these employees going to be? Like, there's no other option.
That's exactly right. And, fruit is great, and we never say don't take fruit out, keep fruit in there. But what are you doing with a snacking option knowing these sort of things? And the problem with that is, too, some of these organisations don't know those stats I just told you right then. They're not,
I'm so surprised.
So it's our job, I find, as a business to educate these businesses on, we're not just flogging a snack box in the workplace. It's because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
This is not just a luxury item to have in a workplace. Yeah. It's actually meeting a demand in the workplace and the Australian workplace in general. So, that has been the challenge of getting to where we are.
Yeah.
I think it is getting more traction, though, especially in the last 12 months. I think as we start to, move on, Australia will catch up. But I think it's companies like Snackwize, I hope, gets these companies to catch up.
Yeah.
So, that's sort of where we're moving as a workforce.
Do you find what's like, obviously, you say a new customer, you've got a meeting with a new customer, you go to pitch your idea. What's your rate of them getting it straight away, or kind of it takes 3 meetings for them to go,
yeah,
we're kind of interested, but we're not too sure? And
it can be a real pain. I mean, the really forward-thinking companies who understand the importance of this really will just sign up within a week.
Yeah, wow.
Now, that's not a typical customer.
Yeah.
That's not a typical customer. It can take up to, up to 3 to 4 weeks to get a customer on board once they've seen it. And I think that's the challenge of that, is because this is a new concept in Australia.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a staple overseas,
yeah.
but in Australia it's still quite relatively new. They're still thinking, I've done the fruit box, I've got snacks, how does it work? And it's quite a little bit strange. You sort of think it's just a subscription. It rocks up every month. It's created for you. You don't have to worry about anything. We do it for you. If it's a certain snack you don't like, take it out. We'll put in a new one for you next delivery.
Yeah.
So that's sort of a still relatively new concept to some people. I think what the key to what we find is works really well in getting it into the workplace. If a millennial is in a management position or who's a decision maker,
right.
It's done like that, because they're the ones who really see the value in this. They're the ones screaming out for it in the workplace. And if they're in a management position or decision-making role, it gets in there super quick.
Yeah,
so we find it's made a generational thing too. People in those sort of decision-making roles are not a millennial or older, and they probably don't see it as important as the millennial generation.
Yeah, got it. That's a really fascinating point. So technically, a moral to the story is put more millennials in managerial positions, and you'll be sweet.
That's it. All millennials out there get into management, so get some more snack boxes. But that's going to happen naturally. Like I said, that's the stat in the year 2025. That's what they're predicting. 75% of the workforce will be millennials. So we're seeing it. In the next 5 to 10 years, this will become just as popular and a necessity in the workplace as a fruit has been. Yeah,
cool. So we've touched on barriers and I guess the trends in the people who are going to be working in these places. What trends are you seeing by way of the actual snacks, and what employees are enjoying
Yeah.
more so than other. Because I guess if you put a selection of different snacks in there, you're kind of gauging what they're liking and what they're not liking so much. So
Totally.
what trends are you seeing?
It's funny. So when we first started the business, there was definitely, it's only 3 short years we've been running for, but it was sort of, we want technically under sweet stuff. But what we're actually seeing in the sort of last 18 months is more having savoury.
Yeah.
So we have both a mixture of sweet and savoury, but definitely more the savoury mix and protein.
Yeah.
Protein, I think a lot of people saying we want more protein snacks. And we're not surprised. Obviously, we all know more protein keeps you fuller for longer and more satiated, which means you're less likely to, overgorge other meal times as well. So that's definitely a trend we're sort of seeing. Also, too, as more dietary sort of needs, I guess, are coming up in sort of out there, like people want to know, is the snacks gluten free? Are they dairy free? Are they paleo? And people sort of eating to those sort of, I guess, dietary needs.
Yeah.
So what all our snacks, 99% of them are without a doubt gluten free, and that's really great. That's the suppliers who do that, and I think that's really cool that they're really cottoning on now that there are a lot of people, unfortunately, who have are gluten intolerant, celiac, who can't digest dairy. I think I read a stat the other day. Roughly, I think the world's population, 60% of the world's population can't digest dairy or have a problem digesting dairy.
Wow.
So, snack manufacturers are now saying, "Oh God, well, that's a huge market to address and could help these people." So we're seeing a lot of trends and people saying, "Hey, can you cater to these dietary needs as well?" So
dairy is a really interesting one as well, though, because when you think about a snack, whether it's a crisp or a bar or something, like there really shouldn't be dairy in there, but we should kind of comment on. It's not the foods as such, it's the things that these snacks have been comprised of, the ingredients, whether it's, I guess, whey powder that would be used in some protein bars and stuff, but it's like there's a part to play on the producer's side, of the supplier side, the brands who are creating these products to go, hey, let's cut out as much crap as we can and make this as pure as we can get it, whether it's a bar or I don't know, whatever it is, because there shouldn't really be dairy in everything anyway. Like, if you want dairy, have a cup of milk.
Yeah.
Eat some yogurt.
Totally.
Like, there's only two.
Totally
I'll have
agree.
some cheese, I guess.
Cheese and crackers and a glass of wine.
But there shouldn't
like
really be dairy in, popcorn or a protein bar that's not. With so many different options with plant-based proteins now as well, like there really no need to use whey protein anymore.
And I'm one of those people. I can't have dairy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I actually sort of generally always knew, even with my coffee, I used to have like a flat white. It used to be my go-to. I loved it. And I always had real problems with it afterwards.
Right.
Went to long blacks. I still miss my flat white.
Good decision.
Yeah,
okay.
I still miss it. But I had no problems. I went and found out that I had like a dairy intolerance, which means whey as well. And my guts too, after having whey protein after the gym, was never that great. So I have a plant-based protein shake now. Even protein balls, I have plant-based protein balls. I don't have anything with dairy in it. So that's definitely a big shift now. The whole vegan, even just going plant-based. You don't necessarily have to be a vegan to be plant-based, but a lot of people are going towards plant-based options for those reasons.
What's your only because I have a thing with protein powders as well.
Yeah.
What's your favourite plant-based protein powder?
I haven't delved. The thing with plant-based protein powders, and if you've got one, let me know, because I'm still trying to find them. They can be a little bit grainy and powdery.
Yeah, so this is the problem with protein powders.
So any, I guess, plant-based protein powder company that's out there watches this, let us know what ones are good.
Send us a really good one.
Because I'm still yet to find a good one. That's the only downside of it. But was it called Australian Protein Suppliers, I think? Aussie Protein Supplies. He's actually a Brisbane guy. I think Matt Silverstone's his name. He started it.
He's down the Gold Coast?
I think so, yeah. Or Brizzy Base, I can't remember.
Yeah, maybe.
I met him down at once at an actually good expo, I think. And he started that company years ago, and his philosophy is sort of similar to what we do with Snackwize, where there's no nasties at all.
Yeah, right.
So it's really clean, no crap or fillers. And he's done the plant-based protein called a P Pro.
Yep.
So I use that one.
Yep.
It's not too bad. It's all right. That's sort of my alternative, and I have no problems at all.
Hemp's an interesting one. Have you tried it?
I haven't. Is it good?
It's I don't mind it. I think I prefer it better than pea.
Okay.
It's a little bit earthier tasting.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I've been using it in smoothies, and fruit jerky is going to contain it, so it's disguised in there. So that's doing.
I'll have to give it a crack then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the rage at the moment.
Okay.
It's all the rage.
Yeah. I've noticed that too. Yeah. Hugely.
Cool. So can you tell us a bit more about what's next for Snackwize? We've got you've got all these customers.
Mhm.
How do you keep them engaged? Do you diversify? What's next in this sector?
Yeah, well, I guess for us, our core focus is always business to business. How we started. We're going for thousands of companies, not just hundreds.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a 10-year plan
Yeah.
to get there. Won't happen overnight. So I guess for us, it's really, a brand awareness of, hey, we're here. We are a solution that's available. Some people still don't know we're really out there. So once they find out we're here, like, oh, this is great. I've been looking for this. So I think for us, it's really, building our brand awareness and getting the name out there. We do it through a lot of trade shows and events and online. So that's for us to keep getting our name out there through those channels over the next few years. But also, too, as of next month, which is pretty exciting, we're actually launching home delivery.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so if you've seen our great snacks in the workplace, you can also get a box delivered to, as of next month, get a box delivered to your home, based on a subscription as well.
Fantastic.
So you just pay one low monthly fee, you get a box of like 20 curated snacks, all different dietary preferences in there, and then every month we'll rotate at about 50% rotation with new snacks as well. So, you understand. And most of these snacks too, which our sort of point of difference is that you can't find in the supermarkets. And we've purposely done that.
Yeah.
We've worked with up-and-coming brands, start-up brands, brands that are in health food stores, and we're sort of bringing it to the consumer where they're eating. They're spending the majority of their time in the office. I mean, we spend 1/3 of our lives working, I reckon. So, you're eating in the office, you should have access to healthy snacks, but also too, if you want to have access to a great range of healthy snacks, you have it at home as well. So you can get best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So that's next month. We're launching that. See how it goes.
It touches on something really fascinating. I've been doing a little bit of reading in this area at the moment, and this idea of a home-based subscription with snacks already curated for you. I think it's really fascinating because I'm a believer in we have choice overload. So we have too many choices to make in the day.
Totally.
As decision fatigue, right? Yep. So when I go to, I have a knack for finding snacks because it's my thing.
Yeah.
But I could imagine if you weren't that invested in what you're going to be eating and you wanted the decision to be made for you, that makes a lot of sense because it can be so mind-boggling and confusing. The lights have just gone out. Shall we move around?
Yeah, I'll go.
Where is it?
Technical issue.
Connor's just going for a run so we can get the lights up. So that decision fatigue really, I could imagine it being a problem because you're like, what do I buy this week? How do I know what I'm buying is okay? So you almost take all that thought process out of the consumer's hands so that they trust you, they trust that they're going to get the right foods or the right snacks in the box, and then there it is.
Well, and we've seen that with healthy food delivery, like the U Foods, your Thrives, and all these other meal deliveries that have come up over the last 2 years. They're really taking that decision fatigue out. Even people like HelloFresh, that's come to the market the last couple of years where you actually just get all the ingredients to you in a box, and here's a recipe, and away you go. And I think they've been really successful because of that exact reason. Decision fatigue, you work hard all day. You may do your grocery shop on the weekend on a Sunday, but you just want to come home. It's sort of like I look at it like a training. Like I look at having healthy food options as like how I go to training. I'm signed up to a club called Orange Theory Fitness, similar to an F45, where you rock up every day. It's circuit-based training. You rock up, it's done for you, leave. You're not sitting there thinking, what do I have to sort of do to this workout? Same with your food choices. You choose what you've got in a healthy food delivery anyway. It rocks up to your doorstep. All you have to do is put it in a bowl or in a pan or a microwave, and away you go. You're done. One less decision for the day. So I think that's where you're exactly right. We're sort of moving towards as an economy as well is that people just want to have an option done for them or taking one less decision out of that process. And they want it conveniently done and at a price that's affordable as well.
I can totally see it working. My sister, she's a bit older than me, and she's got 2 young kids, and she's been hassling me to try HelloFresh. And I cook for one person most nights, so I'm like, no, I'm not going to try HelloFresh. And I love cooking as well, so I like having that selection. But she is so for it, and I could imagine the home-based snacking really working for mums as well with young kids, because it's like her kids really get into the HelloFresh thing. They're like, cool, and they're fussy eaters, so they've always been like, don't want this, do want this, but they really they're more willing to try different things. So I wonder if that similar thing would happen with snacking, where if there's excitement and a little bit of, drama built into the hey kids, we're getting our delivery box of snacks this week.
Yeah.
And then there's surprise and, you know, a discovery element. Then I could imagine mums and kids, that would be a great solution for mums and kids.
Oh, huge. And that's the thing. We see it in our office already. Like, we get our customers saying, you know, oh, it's like Christmas Day when the box arrived. People get so excited by it. I mean, to have that as a testimonial was awesome. And when I heard that, I was like, that's gone on our website. And people get excited by it. I mean, you're getting something that's curated, it's healthy, it's done for you. But you're exactly right. I mean, that's one thing we sort of see probably as a byproduct of what we're about to do, is that mums, especially too with kids and so forth, you know, the diet, they can look at the snacks first, but, you know, with kids, you've got to be a bit more careful because of certain nut-free allergies. But we work with so many great suppliers that wouldn't be an issue. You can always find that to meet those needs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we sort of see it as exactly right. You know, busy mums at the school, instead of trying to find Woolies, and you know, the major supermarkets unfortunately don't stock the best range of snacks. They just don't.
No.
I mean, and that they only have the shelf. They only have the shelf space that people have the marketing dollars. Now, I understand that's how a supermarket works, but that means that a lot of these up-and-coming brands who are actually producing kick-ass snacks don't get the shelf space, therefore consumers don't know they're out there. So we are bringing these awesome brands that you probably would never even see in your life, or had you gone to specifically search for them, to the home and saying, hey, here's an option, go for it.
And I can imagine you'd get the feedback a lot quicker, customer feedback a lot quicker, whereas as a producer, as a snack food producer, we, you know, unless a customer reaches out directly through Instagram or Facebook, we don't know what they think. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas for you, because it's a subscription-based model, and you know, a home-based customer, say when this launches, a home-based customer receives 10 different snacks. They're straight back to you and going, "Hey, we loved 8. These 2 we'd eat again, but they weren't our favourite." That's feedback straight away, and then you can be feeding that back to suppliers, and it's this great way of, I guess, finding solutions to give customers more of what they want, as opposed to just hoping that they love what you produce.
Totally, that's one part that's going to be built into our home delivery component eventually, is having that real-time feedback, and they'll get rewarded points for doing that as well, awesome. Which would be pretty cool. So we'll be able to, I guess, have that sort of data, not only for the great brands that we work with, who provides these awesome snacks, but also too to say, hey, you know, dietary needs, we know this is trending here, this is here, we can swap this one out, we can buy more brands that are, you know, 100% gluten-free because that's what our customers are dictating. So yeah, you're right, we can really get that information a lot quicker, a lot more personalised, a lot more granular than I guess other sort of avenues would have. So yeah, we're really excited by it. I mean, I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. I think that's where most sort of, I think as an economy again, we're moving towards a subscription model. I mean, we've got our Netflix, we've got our Spotify, we've got our F45 gyms. They're all based on a recurring model where you're not marketed a flash price every 2 to 3 weeks. You pay one fee, you get great consistent service, whatever it is, and you're going to get the same quality month in, month out, week in, week out, whatever the subscription is. That's what we're doing. There's no need to be marketing flash sales. You pay one low grade fee to get a great snacks as a service delivered to your workplace, created for you. I mean, it's
and then
a no-brainer for us.
There's just time saving. Like
the time and hassle you have to do, searching online, what's gluten free, what's paleo. I mean, who has time to do that?
No.
You know, we do. It's our company. It's our job to do that. But a lot of other consumers just don't. I don't blame them. They're off doing things in their life, chasing their own goals. So, we're just basically taking a decision out of their daily decision. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. Well, my home's definitely filled with snacks, but that's because I freaking love snacks.
Yeah, me
and
too.
On that, I've asked Connor to bring along his top 3. These are the top 3 snacks.
Top 3 snacks,
in the Snackwize boxes.
Oh, top 3 that I sort of, I guess, like.
Oh, that you like.
Yeah, was that the memo, or was that sort of
no?
That
works too. That works too. I'm excited to try them. We're actually going to dig into them as well.
Yeah. So these are sort of my top 3, along with Just Jerky, of course. I do like Just Jerky. that is mine. I have to say that for sure. But sort of these sort of the 3 now. This one here, I don't know if people can sort of see that from back.
I think they might be able to see it. Yeah.
Again. This is a Cricket energy bar. So these guys started off, Lucas, I believe Camilla, down in Byron Bay. Yep. Really cool team from Brazil. They moved out here to Australia.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, they're really cool people down in Byron Bay. This sort of one is probably a bit advanced for sort of the corporate market at the moment.
Yeah.
People freak out and they hear cricket, think, oh my God, it's going to have bugs in the legs in the bar and stuff. But cricket proteins are one of the most sustainable proteins on earth.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more readily available and sustainable. So putting it into a bar has higher protein count than most sort of protein snacks in the market. and it tastes awesome. I mean, these guys, that's my favourite. Banafi pie is the actual flavour,
Awesome.
and they've done a cracking job.
Can I ask, like, just a random question? How many crickets would go in to make a cricket?
It's a good question. I might have to ask them.
That'd
Hey,
be
I'm not,
really
I,
cool.
yeah, I don't know. Is it tell on the packet?
But
I'm
I
not
was
quite
going to
sure.
have a look, but it's going to make
Yeah.
too much noise. I am going to... So this is one of your favourites.
It's one of my favourites, yeah.
So I've never tried anything cricket yet, actually.
It's a trend in Australia that's, again, it's very early days. Again, in the USA and other likes, it's huge.
Yeah, right.
And I think this is going to be a trend that will take a while in Australia to pick up.
Okay.
But
I'm going to
yeah,
open it and have a go.
I really love it. I think these guys just nailed it for a protein bar.
I'm going to... sorry, I have to smell
Oh,
the
you have
food,
to,
don't I?
yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing, is just getting your head around the whole cricket thing. It is
So,
pretty weird.
It's, just to give the guys some context, how big a packet is? Serving size?
45.
It's 45 grams. The ingredients, if I can find them, which I can.
Organic too, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, it is too. It's all organic. So organic dates, dried banana, organic pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, cashews, cricket powder, cinnamon, sea salt. That's a really freaking good ingredient list.
Pretty clean ingredients. When we say clean, we mean natural ingredients. So.
I love the fact as well that it's quite hard. So a lot of sometimes these bars can be quite squishy and soft and
Crumbly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm a bit texture
Yep.
savvy. So
Yep.
all right, here we go. See, that texture is fantastic.
They've nailed it. I think also too they're one of the other founders in the business too. That used to be a chef, or was a chef, so he is responsible for, I guess, coming up with the formulation, and then they get a company to go do it for them. So they're really invested closely to the production of their snacks. They haven't gone and really said, "Hey, can you go make us a recipe?" They've come up with it themselves. And they also do cricket protein powders as well. But yeah, in a bar form, it's I think it's great. I know a lot of people freaked out by it. I don't blame them, but it is awesome. I mean, when you have banafi pie cricket protein, it's just unreal.
It's amazing, and it's not too sweet.
No.
It's even it's actually really beautiful. I'm not a fan of these bars because I have a natural tendency to want. I've told everyone before, savoury snacks. So I'm one of those people that loves
totally.
a savoury chickpea cracker or again jerky or popcorn or something. But this is definitely not too sweet. It's actually really good, and I love that they've used pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds as opposed to nuts. Or there's some cashew in there as well, but they've overdone it with almonds and walnuts. I don't know. That's what I think anyway. That is amazing.
That's fun.
So organic, and what's the brand name? Grillo.
Grillo. So I think it's something in Portuguese. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Organic cricket energy bar and banoffee pie. Gluten-free, dairy-free, paleo. Bloody delicious. What's the next one?
So the next one is, these guys are quite new. It's Shelby's. So they came out to the market late last year. These are dipped and dusted almonds. Now, cinnamon and yogurt dusted almonds. Like, almonds are cool by themselves and they're really healthy, but you want something with a little bit more, I guess, what would you say?
It's jazzed up.
Treatier?
Yeah, jazzed up almonds.
Jazzed up almonds is probably a better usable word. These are unreal. They come in espresso dark chocolate as well and matcha. But these are my sort of top three favourite. I'm also one though too. I think high protein for me is one that it's a common thing in my snacks I like to have.
Yeah.
So if it is that, obviously that's where the cricket protein bar comes in. But if you want something that's not full of protein enough all day, that's sort of a good little thing to sort of snack on too.
So I'm in love with this brand. I've intentionally held back from trying. I think I've tried their bars, but I haven't tried their coated almonds yet. And I'm meant to be reviewing them on Talking Snacks. But I have to try these today.
Yeah, I've seen.
Because I'm not going to hold back any longer. They've just been going nuts. So dipped and dusted almonds, cinnamon and yogurt flavour, all natural, low GI and gluten-free. Sorry about the rustling, guys, but this has to happen. Again, they smell freaking amazing.
Do you like cinnamon?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I like
cinnamon.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're freaking amazing. So what are they coated? Coated in yogurt.
Yeah, dipped and dusted. With a bit of yogurt there. So they've done a pretty good formulation there. It's pretty nice.
It's like dessert, but healthy dessert. It's way better than eating a plain almond.
yeah, totally. I mean, you can just like this. I actually want to eat almonds after.
And it's a really, actually, now that I think about it, it's an interesting take on a sweetened nut, because a confectionery, we've often eaten salty or savoury flavoured nuts, whether it's barbecue barbecue flavoured nuts, or you can get like sweet chili, I'm assuming nut flavours, but
yeah,
confectionery style nuts where you've got like sugar or honey coated macadamias and stuff were always too sweet. I was never interested in eating them.
Yeah.
Because again, that savoury tendency. But this is a really good take on a sweetened nut. It's not too sweet.
Yeah.
But it's still a snack.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I mean, with that sort of snack too, if you know, at night time you get those cravings, you're like, oh, do I get the block of chocolate out, or do I, you sort of feel guilty. But this is a treat. This is a healthy snack that it's not going to feel guilty about.
No.
And you can still get that if you do have a tendency to crave sweet things. You can still get your sweet fix without being guilty about the calories that come with it. So I really think they've nailed it. Like I said, I do espresso choc and almond matcha. Personally, out of the 3 flavors, that's my favorite though. So I think these guys are going to do some really cool things.
I haven't had breakfast today, so I'm probably going to eat the whole packet if we don't move on.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last one
is Blue Dinosaur, so paleo bars. So these guys have been around since 2012. They're a pretty well established brand. I just think, I think out of all sort of your paleo sort of bars on the market, these guys have nailed it. I think their packaging is unreal. They're just going from strength to strength. They just released a new protein bar as well. But I think if I'm going to sort of eat a bar personally, it's either sort of like a sort of a paleo-ish bar or something with high protein in it.
Yeah.
But I think these guys have nailed it. So banana bread's my favourite. Lamington, they got a Lamington flavour as well. Other flavours. Lamington apple pie, that's unreal.
I haven't tried apple pie. I've tried Lamington.
Yeah, apple pie is probably, I'd probably even say apple pie and banana bread are probably like this for me.
I like your style. You like nostalgic snacks? Like, do you
I
like
do, right? It's a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah, I sort of like, that sort of, Nana's apple pie sort of thing.
I like it.
So, I mean, that's a pretty nice stuff.
I'm gonna try this. I actually don't think I really liked their mint.
Cacao mint.
Cacao mint.
Yeah.
And I think I really like the Lamington one.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried this one.
Yeah, so banana bread's pretty nice too. It's I think the top sellers for those guys I think is Lamington banana bread. So
really,
Australians love a good Lamington, so I think they nailed it with the Lamington bar.
And love a good banana bread.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, you go to cafes everywhere. There's banana bread everywhere. So I think they've done a pretty good job with their flavours and so forth. So.
I like that idea of taking like a food that is a little bit indulgent and then taking that flavour and turning it into something that you can snack on any time of the day or anywhere like this, because I mean the reality is banana bread isn't that great for you unless there's a lot of healthy versions that you can make at home.
There's healthier versions for sure, totally.
Yeah. But it's still, I mean, I still find like those really sugary, sweet cake versions in a lot.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. That's the thing too. That's exactly right. They taste great, but they're pumped full of sugar and stuff. And I think what these guys have done, again, they've got a really clean, natural ingredient review.
Yeah.
They've got a flavour they've killed. In terms of just like getting it right, I think. It does have some sort of high natural sugar content in there.
Yeah.
But it's natural sugars. I mean, I understand, you want to sort of keep your sugars down as much as possible, but if it's a natural sugar, it's far better for you than a processed Mars bar sugar.
Right, so, and if you know what you're eating, so like the way I see it is maybe I wouldn't snack on banana bread and a coffee.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to have my coffee, and if I want something sweet, at least I know I'm getting something sweet that's real food sweet, not just loaded with white sugar sweet.
That's it. Yeah. Totally.
We don't need to cut out sweet foods.
No,
we just need to be more mindful about what sweet foods we're eating.
Exactly.
This ingredient list, I didn't realize it had coconut, dates, organic banana, organic coconut oil, cinnamon. It smells amazing. Wow.
Verdict?
You
like it?
Super coconutty.
Yeah.
A little bit more crumbly, as you can probably see. I'm making a mess in the office.
It is a little bit crumbly, when you those
But
things,
that's probably because there's no coconut doesn't really bind.
Yeah.
Coconut is by nature quite crumbly.
And that's what you see a lot of other snacks out there who like to promote themselves as healthy. I mean, if you're putting preservatives there and binding agents, is it really technically that healthy? I mean, these guys and all the other snacks we work with have found a way that you don't need to put all these preservatives in to have a real great tasting food and have a great shelf life. There are ways of having natural preservatives and certain ingredients used that are natural, which work as a preservative. So these guys, I think, and all the other snack brands that we get to work with, it's awesome. They're showing the big guys, the big consumers, people, junk food consumers, that hey, you can make real food packaged up to a consumer.
Yeah.
So
and
I think that's really important.
Educating and the consumers understanding the changing textures. So consumers get used to something, right? And then when you stop giving them that something, and don't tell them why, or something changes, that's when they don't understand. But if it's communicated that, hey, no binding agents in this, that's why it's a little bit more crumbly, the consumer's like, oh, cool, that's a benefit.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of like junk food is like soft and salty and sweet and squishy, and then we get used to that texture in our mouth, and then you change that texture and there's going to be some sort of backlash, right?
Well, these scientists, they're actually who work for these big companies, they're called bliss points. So they actually know, they've researched over years of how much sugar, how much fat to put in there to get you to that, what they call the bliss point, the point you're just like, I need to have more. Yeah. And that's come at a detrimental effect to society because we're craving all this unhealthy crap now.
Yeah, that we didn't even know existed.
Didn't even know.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest. Once upon a time, all food was organic.
Yeah, that's true.
We've grown up in agriculture and it's benefited us in so many great ways, but it's come at a detriment to our health in a lot of other ways.
Yeah.
With the food, we're eating food-like products and actually food. So that's why, I just love working with brands like this who have actually just now they're they're giving us real food. It's real food the way you're meant to have it. But you're right, it's very hard. Once you've been used to a certain texture and way and your brain's accustomed to those bliss points, which aren't good for you at all, it becomes very hard. But I think the key to this is like these brands that they've gone and put the hard yards in, they've found the great ingredients, and they've made something that tastes great. Yeah. So you don't feel like you're going without.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing with healthy snacking, is some people think healthy, it's going to taste like rabbit food.
No,
it doesn't have to be.
These do not taste like rabbit food.
It just comes down to working with great brands, and I think that's what we love, and that's what we continue to see with the innovation coming out, is that you can make real food great, tasty, and convenient to consumers.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. I'm probably going to go and eat all these snacks now, but to let everybody at home or whoever's watching find out where they can find you. Yeah. Instagram, Snackwize.
Instagram, Snackwize with a Z, so snack and then WIZE. Same with the website, snackwize.com. Find us on Facebook, find us on LinkedIn. Yeah. But definitely go to Instagram and see the types of brands and snacks that we work with on a daily basis. It's probably the best way to find it. And you can obviously order online, or if you're a company looking to provide some healthier snacks, snackwize.com.
Do you send any sample packs out to companies that might be interested?
We used to that, but we just found that some people unfortunately were just wanting to free sample box of snacks, not really wanting to sort of life's gone again. Want to do that. So now we just say, if any company who's looking to sign up, if they stay on board for at least 3 months, there's no contractual obligation. But if you do, get $50 Coles Mine gift card. Yeah. So a little bit of an incentive there to get in there as well. So the great thing about our service is there's no lock-in contract. So if a company wants to come on board, they can cancel whenever they want. Awesome. So pretty flexible.
Thank you so much.
No worries. No, thanks for
the
time.
And for my
it's
delicious
awesome.
snacks.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Thanks, guys. You've been watching Talking Snacks with Elisa and Connor from Snackwize.